Hey, all you holistic hipsters out there, it's that time. So grab your chalice of choice and sit back and sip along with us. We would love to welcome you to the Tea Podcast, where we spill the tea on all things holistic in the pet grooming industry. Let me introduce you to our hostesses with the mostesses.
She is the socialite of skin and coat care, Ms. Michelle Knoll.
And the queen bee of all things oily, Ms. Melissa Conti-Dieter. Brought to you by TheOilyGroomer.com. Are you searching for a new and more mindful way of grooming? Interested in understanding how to grow your grooming business with a more holistic and organic approach? Please contact Melissa Conti-Dieter at TheOilyGroomer.com so that you can set up a meeting and bring balance and prosperity to your life. And AllThingsPaw.com. Intermediate and advanced courses in pet esthetician work, fear recovery, animal handling, and more. Get your learn on with All Things Paw. Also, classes with Melissa, online and self-guided, intuitive energy work, transitional therapy, and compassionate touchpoint therapy, and more. And the Herbal Paw Pet Apothecary, tailored for the individual pet, phone consultations, history gathering, and the home of the Herbal First Aid Kit.
Now, let's get this tea party started.
All right. Melissa. That is a very Bublé
Yes,
intro.
that was very Bublé, and I like me some Michael Bublé.
Sure.
Welcome to the tea holiday edition with our holiday music. So what's in your holiday cup, Miss Michelle?
Well, again, our good friend of the show, friend in real life, Erin Schenk, again provides us with the best mugs. This is my owl mug from her for my tea. And if you look in the inside, it also has a little bird in there to greet you as you drink your tea. So I have clove, orange peel, and marshmallow. Delish.
Lovely. I have my Queen Bee, one of my favorites, also from Erin, friend to everyone. And if you look inside, it says Queen Bee. That's me. So, and I have a prepackaged tea that is easily accessible in these busy holiday times. So it is the Celestial Seasonings Bengal Spice, which has some of the items that are in your tea. It is very spicy and warming and just is all things winter. So that's what's in my wonderful Queen Bee cup. Thank you to Erin. I love this cup. So as we get started again in this holiday themed podcast, I think we're going with a full on theme here.
Mm-hmm.
What is our topic for today, Michelle? Dazzle us with your with your adeptness with this whole. There it is.
Intangible gifts, things that cannot be bought.
Yay.
So that's our topic for the day.
Lovely.
This will be appearing probably December 14th.
Yeah.
Correct, Melissa?
I think
14th. So that means everyone will be in the throes of the holiday. I'm not even going to say holiday spirit. I'm going to say holiday frenzy.
Yeah.
Holiday hysteria. It's going to be in full swing.
I like that a lot more.
Holiday hysteria.
I can be hysterical.
Yeah. And I figured let's talk a little bit about the things that you can give that don't have anything to do with a retail experience. The things that really do make an impression, a difference. And it's things that don't even require money, just your heart and your intention and your thoughtfulness.
which I think sometimes we're so overwhelmed with all the things. I
Mm.
have to do this, I have to get that. I am balancing budget versus wants versus need, and all these things. Money, everybody's purse strings get tighter at Christmas time. um it's just so much going on, and I think that we forget about thoughtfulness, and I think we forget about um being kind to one another,
Yeah.
and just taking that moment to step back and slow down for a minute, because this is always such a, they say, holiday rush.
Hmm. Well,
Right.
more people commit suicide at this time of the year
Mhm.
than any other time. And I think it's because we get so caught up. I mean, I'm sure there's a million reasons why. This reason, my little hypothesis is not the only one. But
Well,
a
it's the
lot of the
only
reason
one.
is that it's there. People are lonely.
Yeah.
People are looking forward to the giving of gifts and the things that you do during the holidays rather than taking their eyes and putting them on the person and saying,
Right.
"Hey, I see you as a human. Blessings be upon you." I think that it's a lot of that. And I think that even though we live in big cities now, as opposed to before, where we lived in smaller villages, if you will, or smaller conclaves, towns, if you will, um, we get farther and farther apart spiritually, the closer we're packed together. And
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people don't find connection anymore in the big cities because all this bustle is happening around you. And if you don't have a tether, if you don't have a village or a family or a group of friends, you can disassociate really quickly, I think.
I think it's important that we keep ourselves anchored in hope.
Hmm.
I think that hope has to be something that um, we hitch our wagon to.
Hmm.
You always want to have something that is bigger than yourself, that you're hoping for, or especially this time of year, everybody has hopes and wishes. A new year is coming about, so we're ending one phase, and a new one is beginning, and
Hmm.
so again, we're trying to balance an ending and a beginning here. So a lot of times people lose that hope, and they fall
Hmm.
into that hopelessness of, I didn't accomplish everything I wanted to this year that's almost over. So I can't even begin to think about new things because I wasn't unable to do these things. And
Hmm.
sometimes, it's not in our timing either. And so we have to remember that doors open and doors close, and we were discussing this off camera
Yes.
earlier. And doors open and doors close as the universe or God or great spirit or whatever you want to, nature, mother nature, whatever you
Fate.
want to, yeah, fate, whatever you want to label that as, that universal life energy controls that. And a lot of times we don't have a lot to do with it,
Mhm.
that we've done everything that we can do, and that door may not have opened for us. Sometimes I was lamenting, sometimes we get the door open and we go in like gangbusters, and they go, "Thank you very much," and they shut the door on
Mhm.
you.
Mhm.
And you're kind of like, but I don't think I was done yet.
I wasn't done.
I
Yeah,
was still talking.
fair enough.
Yeah, so you have to still have hope that maybe that small moment is going to lead to other small moments that are going to appreciate you right where you're at.
Mhm. And I'd go
So
as far as to say if you can get to that point, you can understand that every single person around you is going through that same
yeah,
thing, so that if you could give them just a little bit of grace,
yep,
maybe you don't get that one TV model that you wanted this year. You guess what? There's going to be hundreds of them the
Mm-hmm.
week after Christmas. It's no big deal. Put a nice fancy card under the tree saying, hey, that new TV's coming. It's
Yep.
okay. It doesn't matter. It won't run out. They'll make more.
Right.
Whatever it is, they'll make more. And it's only stuff, and you can't take it with you. And it's something else you have to dust.
Yeah.
So I just feel like there's a lot of people that are so disconnected right now that need to find that connection again. And if no one holds a hand out, where are they going to go? What can they do? The easiest, most selfless, most beautiful, precious, rare, important gift you can give someone on the street or in the mall or in the grocery store is literally a smile.
Mm-hmm.
And some grace if they're jostling kids or they cut in front of you or they got that last can of whatever it is, evaporated milk you wanted from that one shelf. Just none of that matters. The people that are shopping are more important than the things that you're buying.
Yeah.
And I think that if we keep that in mind, everyone's trying to get their family and make it the best Christmas ever or whatever. Every Christmas is the best Christmas ever if you're still breathing and you still have your people around you. There are so many people that don't have a house or a tree or gifts or family. And sometimes those are the people in the grocery store and in the mall and on the street that need that little bit of kindness, that little bit of grace. And it's not always just to throw some change or a couple of dollars at somebody and walking on down. Bring them a cup of coffee. Smile at somebody and say, blessings be upon you. Just something small, because this world is full of hurt. This world is full of people saying mean, nasty things, trying to bring you down, whether it's intended or not. The best gift you can give is just a little piece of kindness to your neighbor, and make their holiday season just that much less burdensome, I should say.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's already hard for everybody out here. Why make it harder by losing your temper at somebody who's just doing the best they can do right at that second?
Yeah. Well, even in our business, I mean, we talk about being holistic, and I mean, the show is, we say, we spill the tea on all things holistic in the grooming industry. Well, holistic is a thought process of holism, that we're considering the whole person when we're talking about groomers.
So well put. Yes.
Or whether we're talking about the animals that we service or our customers even.
Mm-hmm. And colleagues and family and friends. The holistic mindset goes beyond the salon. I think that's an important point, Melissa.
If you're claiming that moniker, if you're saying, hey, I'm a practitioner of holistic practices, I pride myself on my holistic approach
to life.
That doesn't
just once you become mindful, how are you going to turn that off? Once you become that way and you're truly mindful and practicing holistically in your salon, how can you just turn that off like a light switch and go out and just be this terrible person? Right. You carry that into your life. Being mindful and holistic is a way of life. It's a philosophy.
Yeah, it is. It is a philosophy. It is it's a tough row. Like when you're in that boat, when you're in that holistic boat, again, Michelle and I can talk forever, and we often do. Before we even start recording, we've already been talking.
If we just recorded it, we'd have like 40 shows already.
Oh my God, yeah. we were talking again off camera, and we were literally saying, that we aren't for everyone, and we realize that. And while sometimes it hurts, and we sometimes are able to be taken in small doses, and then the muggles get too weirded out, and and they're like, yeah, that's enough from you guys, so for us, it is a really big thing, because we wear that as that holistic, as almost like a badge of honor, that we understand that we are swimming upstream, and we are trying to expose our agenda, which is to take care of the whole person, the whole pet,
The whole groomer,
the whole
the
groomer.
whole colleague, the whole friend, the whole family.
We don't just want to focus on here are the herbs and here are the oils, and now you can go back to not caring about anything else. No,
Right.
this is a complete meal.
Right. The full meal deal, as Dairy Queen used to say.
Yeah. So, and that's something that we look at as something that can't be bought. You can't buy that. You can't say, well, I paid for these herbs, so now I'm holistic.
Right. Yeah.
Or I'm using essential oils, so that means my whole approach is holistic.
Well, the holistic itself is intangible.
Right, exactly.
It's not pesticide free. It's not using a certain cleaner. It's not using herbs and playing, Tibetan bells and
right.
Those are offshoots of being holistic, that you could use those in a holistic fashion. Right. But holistic means considering the entire thing, the entire program. And that is very intangible and very powerful. Once you find that within yourself, you understand it, and it will never leave you again. You'll understand completely what that means, because the dogs will respond, your clients will respond, your colleagues will respond, your family will respond. And if they don't, maybe they need to do some work on them.
And you have to just realize, I post about this a lot, about making decisions that put yourself into a more completed mindset. Like, these things complete me. Not to, sound like Jerry Maguire, but, I know that the people that I love and appreciate, that I make part of my circle, whether they are biologically my family or they're my friends that are dear to my heart and like family, that is something that completes my soul, that brings me joy, that brings me able to look at my life in a certain way that helps me work out what my mission is. So when you find that tribe of people, you find, the group of people that you want to spend time with and all that, those are all those intangible gifts that we share with one another. That text message, hey, I haven't heard from you in a week. Are you okay? I know you're busy, you're slammed. I know that this might be a really tough time for some people. Those are gifts that cost nothing and are very simple to do, to take one moment and say, I thought about you today. Is there anything that I can do for you? And take the time, because I know a lot of us will think about our friends and will say, oh, I wonder what so-and-so is doing. I wonder what, instead of just wondering in the moment, we have technology that we can immediately relay that message to them.
Send an emoji.
Yep. Send an emoji. Or
just like, hey, thinking of you. Don't even ask anything of them. That's a precious gift. And don't expect them to respond.
Right.
Just let it be. Just send that beauty out to the universe and say, you know what? Just thinking of you, with a big heart, or whatever. All those things matter. All those things absolutely matter. And they make a ripple on the pond of the universe, I believe.
I do too.
Collectively, the more kindness we put out there, the more everybody has. Right?
Yep. I mean, I know it's sometimes people struggle with that because they don't want to be seen as strange or weird, but when you get over that, when you start to own your weirdness, and that you're like, I don't really care if somebody thinks I'm weird or strange, because my friends know and love me for my weirdness. Like, I do things for my kids that I send them. I'll just text them randomly out of the blue. I mean, my kids are all adults and living their lives, but I just text, sometimes in the morning, whatever. I'll just be like, good morning. Just a gentle reminder that your mother loves you. And sometimes I don't hear anything back, and that's okay, because I just want them to know that at that moment that was on my heart. And I'll do that to my husband, and he'll do that back to me. And that nothing brings a smile across my face more than I'm in the middle of a crazy busy day and I get a text message and I'm annoyed, and I'm like, oh my God, now who's texting me? And I look down and my husband just texts me, I love you. And that's it. There's nothing else there but that, or I'm thinking of you, or my kids do the same, they'll just send something like that. Makes such a difference. So if you see somebody that you work with, which I will do, and I see that they're just struggling, or if I have their personal information and I can text them, I might just send them a text. If I don't, and I see that they just look like they're having a rough day, sometimes I don't say anything, and I'll just walk over and just put my hand on their shoulder and just for just a moment, and just put
share some energy. Yeah.
Yep. And just share that. Yep. And walk away. And they'll be like, oh, did you want to talk to me? And I'll be like, not unless you wanted to talk to me. I don't even say, I noticed you were struggling, or no, because some people don't want to be called out.
Sometimes they just need that boost.
Right.
Just that little, you know what? I'm here for you.
Yep.
And just move along. They don't need to be chastised or do it this way.
Nope.
Or whatever. But
and that's an intangible thing that a lot of us lose sight of, because we're so wrapped up in all the things that we are trying to produce. And we lose sight of the fact that we need to produce love and kindness and acknowledgement, sometimes just being seen by someone else.
Absolutely. Know that you're in someone's thoughts. Sometimes you maybe experience in a moment of you just feel all alone, and the burden is just so heavy. And then you get that little text, or somebody just, says, hey, thinking about you. Or you get a little message on Facebook or whatever. Sometimes that could just boost somebody up out of something that they're trying to spiral into.
Yep.
So, yeah, my husband and I, when our relationship was very young, we just happened to watch a documentary on bowerbirds. And the male brings the lady a lot of blue pebbles and blue things. For whatever reason, their eyes must see really well on that spectrum, but that's how they woo their female. And if the blue things are beautiful enough and plentiful enough, then the female then decides to mate with that particular male. And then I started getting little blue pebbles, things with a little bit of blue on them. My husband was bringing me blue things, and I think that's the most precious thing in the entire universe. I will throw a diamond in the trash if I can have a rough little blue pebble that he found on a job site. Right. That's so crazy to me. And now even when it's not blue and he does something for me, like he'll do little things that I notice, but they're just so innocuous. You know what I mean? And when I wake up in the morning, I turn on the coffee maker and pour the water, but he makes the coffee because it's delicious. He'll already have my cup sitting there with my spoon and my special cup, and make sure that I'm taking care of in the morning while I'm making him breakfast. And it's little things like that just compound during the day. And I feel like my life is full of blue things, and I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed from that. So little tiny, just thoughtful things, just to remind you that you are loved and you're cared for and cherished. That you're in my thoughts.
It's that thoughtfulness that has come over time. You and I both have been married for a long period of time. Yes. And so I have to say, in the beginning, for me, there was not always that thoughtfulness. There was not always, I was not thinking of us as a complete picture. And so it's a conscious decision to be thoughtful.
At first.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And not just with your spouse or your partner or with a friend or whatever. Just to be thoughtful with people that you don't know. You're standing in line. Why does it always surprise me when I'm in line and somebody says, do you want to just go ahead of me? You only have a few things. And I'm always thoughtful. Really? Oh, okay, yeah, thanks. Gee, that's awful nice of you, or if someone, steps aside and lets you go or holds the door open for you or whatever. That's
I am also so appreciative of gentlemen that hold the door for me.
Yeah.
With all the stuff, all the heat they're getting nowadays, but with the feminist women, some of them feel so put upon. They're like, we would love to open the door for you and show you respect. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I appreciate it as well. Oh, man or woman, it doesn't matter to me. If
just somebody saying, "Hey, I got the door for you."
Exactly.
In that moment. Yeah, that's wonderful.
It's a thought. It took a thought. You had to acknowledge me as a human being and my existence. Because so much of what we do, we are disconnected and we are not acknowledging those around us at all, and we're just like zombies with our phone, and we're just in our phone, and we're not paying attention. And I am completely guilty of it. I do it. I fall into the rabbit hole, and so we want to really acknowledge people, especially now, because this is an especially difficult time of the year for people. So to just say hello or a smile or a hand on a shoulder, or, if you do know your neighbors or you don't know your neighbors, but you wish you did know your neighbors, now is the time to do something and step up and say, here's, a hot chocolate kit, or here's, cookies, or,
or if it's someone elderly on your block, can I take your garbage out?
Yes.
Can I clean up the walkway for you? Do you need help cleaning up your whatever? Can I come do your dishes? Especially if it's somebody that's, feeling poorly, or they're very ancient and they don't have a lot of family left,
right?
Or maybe not in the state. If you come across or know someone like that, just check up on them.
Yeah.
Check up on them. Practice being community.
Yes.
And you will be amazed at the community that you make.
Yeah.
I think if you act like you already have community and treat people like they're already a part of your community, you're going to help blossom that community. And people are going to start doing that same thing, and you'll strengthen your area, your locale.
And a lot of people think, oh, well, it's not that big of a deal, or it's not going to, if I do that, it's not that big of a deal, or it's not going to change their life, or doesn't have to be anything earth shattering. My husband broke his leg. And had to have 2 different surgeries where he was literally in bed in traction, could not walk, nothing. And I was still working a full-time job. And my neighbor across the way once a week would just take my trash cans down for me and bring them back up. And I never asked, he just, I would throw the garbage away.
And he was like, you know what? Let me just get these for you.
Yep. And I actually ran into him one day when I was, coming home from work, rushing in to get to help take care of John. And he was like, don't worry, I'll bring the trash cans up. And I said to him, thank you so much. That means so much to me. Just that one little thing off of my plate. So, sometimes it's just that one small thing that you can do to help someone that may not seem like a big thing, but
I think we need to do things like that for each other, even if we don't know each other.
Right.
To remind everybody that, people are looking out for you.
Yes.
And I would love everybody to get used to that feeling. Get used to it. Get used to not only looking out for people, but being looked out for.
Right.
And if you do it, be strong in your locale. Let it spread. Only you can spread that. And
Absolutely.
If each individual made the commitment to spread that kindness and that thoughtfulness, just be kind. Literally, if you don't want to touch anybody, talk to anybody, whatever, I'm the most introverted person in the world. As I pass somebody on the street, I can wish them good intentions.
Right.
That is even intangible, but important and real and measurable. Just having good intentions as you walk. Everybody's walked in a room before where somebody's angry. You can feel it before you even know something's going on. It makes the hackles rise on the back of your neck. Intention matters. It's real, and it's one of the best gifts you can give. Just be calm next to somebody who's anxious. Be kind to somebody who's sad, or who has a faraway look in their eye. You know, maybe take some that I've done this in the department store before. Everybody's just all crazy. There was a woman with 2 children and she was just tore down, but trying to get her shopping done and whatever. I took a ribbon, one of those gift ribbons and a bow. I took it off there like that and I just balanced it on her lapel like that. And I'm like, you're going to do okay like that. And that made everything better for her.
Yeah.
It makes everything better.
She was seen in that moment where she felt like she was drowning.
Yes.
She was seen. And that, to me, that's always something that I personally struggle with, is that when I feel like I'm not seen or not, or I'm drowning under stress or worries and whatnot, if someone says just something sweet or kind or whatever, it pulls you out of that, even if it's momentarily. It allows you to know that you're being seen, you're being recognized, somebody says that you have value because I'm taking that time to value you. And a lot of times we just fall into that well, whether it's over financial things, especially during the holidays, whether it's the fact that we don't have extended family or people that we feel like we're connected with and we feel disconnected. Those are the people you want to really reach out to the most.
Yeah, because it's harder for them to reach out.
Right. And be respectful. If someone says, oh, no, thank you. You're like, oh, we're going to have a family and friends dinner or whatever, you're invited. And if they say, oh, no, thank you. Okay. Well,
just be gracious, but always invite them.
Right.
Whether they want to come or not, invite them. And to them, that may be great. You know what? You thought of me, but I just want to sit here in my dark little room and I'm happy here. And that's fine. But knowing somebody out there, there is a place to go. Should you want to.
Should you want to. Yep. And that makes a difference. And that's what I think we mean by intangible gifts. I think that
your intention, your blessings upon others, your shared gifts of happiness and kindness, being thoughtful, seeing people for who they are, and not for who they are, but in the moment, seeing their plight in the moment. Yeah, is very important. I don't know anybody who hasn't ever been helped by a stranger ever in their life. And I remember those times, and I've had my fair share of blessings from the universe, from strangers. I'm telling you, I don't know how I'm alive today sometimes. But they're there and they shaped me in such a way that I know how important those acts are. And they're acts. They're not things that are given. They're acts of kindness. There's something intangible that mean the world in the moment.
Yeah. It's an actual action. It has thought and intention behind it. And so and this time of year, especially for us as groomers, this tends to be our open invitation to have a bitch fest, to complain. It's really, once this time of year rolls around, if you watch on social media and you belong to specific groups and that kind of stuff, everybody starts complaining. They complain about traffic. They complain about prices. They complain about customers. They complain about the dogs that get groomed once a year, about customers who don't keep their appointment, about customers that never pre-booked their appointment. It's like it runs the gauntlet of complaints.
And they can come back to back. So you're on this roller coaster that's, oh my God, oh my God. In like 5 minutes.
Yes.
With 3 different clients coming in the door.
Yep.
And the pressure is on. You're trying to make all this money. In some regions, this is the busy season.
Right.
And a lot of people get most of their money in this particular month or a couple of months, November and December. And man, the pressure. It is said that the pressure in a salon at holiday time is worse than the stress of a human ER on a weekend.
I don't doubt that.
The expectations of the clients can sometimes be crippling. And my good friend Erin, who's a friend of the show, friend of mine in real life, friend for everyone.
Friend to everyone.
She once said, because she is on her game. Okay. She once said while we were grooming, and I think it was Christmas time, and she's like, if you can't groom through your tears, are you even a groomer?
That's
Groom through your tears, people.
right. There is no stopping.
Holy cow. I'm just going to give you permission real quick. If you don't need to, there's no need to take 20 dogs a day during this holiday season. I give you my permission to take a reasonable amount of dogs per day, per week, even through the holiday season. It's no different than any other day, truthfully, when it comes down to basic finances. If you are young and have a strong body and have a plan of rest after the holiday is over and you've got a couple of days to just recuperate and you want to get that cash because you got houses to buy and cars to buy and whatever else that you're working for in your life, yeah, go for it. But if you just go into this season dreading your life, cut back a little bit.
Yeah.
If you can. I know some corporate requires you to do so many a day. But if you can, pamper yourself a little bit during this season. Man, you deserve it. And don't wait till it's all over when you're all broken.
Yeah.
Get a little 15, 30-minute massage here and there throughout the season. Book it ahead of time because you already know what's coming, right? Just something to alleviate your stress a little bit of me time, because you're going to go out there and give it away. If you're not filling up your cup on a daily basis every night and then going in and doing your 20 dogs, you're hurting yourself. Huh?
I said, Michelle does not mean fill it with cocktails.
No, fill up your cup with nutrition, with rest, with love, with soothing music, nothing jangly, because literally you have to repair your nerve endings for the onslaught the next day. So you have to care for yourself, and I know it's easy. It's easy because our industry is full of caretakers. We want to fix it. We want to take care of it. We will take care of the details. We'll blah, blah, blah. We'll do this, do that. Don't you worry, da, da, da. However, we forget to take care of ourselves as well. So you might want to remind a colleague who's going a million miles a minute to take a drink of water, go wash your face, go step outside and breathe some air without dog hair in it. Little things like that. That's also being holistic, and it's also being very thoughtful.
I think it's just important that we start to see others around us and to look at them in a different light, in a different way, and not be completely consumed by our own issues and our own problems. And so when we start to look further outside of ourselves, I think that expands that heart-centered energy, where we're actually putting that out, we're allowing that to permeate just what is in front of us. And I think that's a huge part of transcending the that monetary value system that comes with the holidays.
We're so ingrained. We're conditioned to do this.
Yeah.
If Jesus were here today, he would absolutely upend every table.
Well,
this is disgusting. He would be disgusted.
Well, that's what he did in the temple. He turned the money changers' tables over.
The monetization of his not birthday would astound him with just the haram of it, the sin of it.
It's just a shame because it is touted as the season of peace and joy, and it has become the season of stress and lament
and debt.
Don't
go into debt. Yep. Don't put stuff on your cards. If you have to put stuff on your cards, make it enough to make cookies for everybody, and not flat screen TVs for every single person in your family.
Right.
And don't put yourself in debt. Don't start your new year off like that. Love yourself a little bit. Scale back a little bit. Think about the things that are more important. Think of Whoville.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that
Yahoo Dore, you guys.
That's right. That is right. Share a Christmas beast together. If everything about what your holiday season is tied to a monetary goal, then I think it's time to take a step back, and there's nothing wrong with having financial goals, but if everything that you're doing in the season is pertaining to being able to earn enough to spend more and to get more stuff, I think it's time to take a step back and look at where your priority lies. Maybe instead of doing what you can to make more, maybe you step back and you go to a homeless shelter and serve a dinner if you can. Or you help at the Salvation Army do a toy drive, or the what's the other one that does the Toys for Tots, the military ones? I mean,
there's a ton of things that you can do everywhere. And if you can't find the time or don't have the wherewithal to do any of those, it could be just something as simple as telling your husband or your spouse, hey, I don't need that expensive jewelry.
Right.
Why don't we wait until after the holidays are crazy, and then you take me to that really expensive restaurant that we have always wanted to go to and we never did. Save that money for something that means something to you rather than just something to unwrap. If you have to unwrap something, unwrap a card that inside of it is written what the gift is, what the fun adventure is going to be. It could even be, antiquing. It could be looking for that perfect pair of tennis shoes with that person. It could be whatever. Your time is much more valuable spending time with that person than that gift ever was.
Yeah.
Than that money monetarily exchanged good could ever be. Unless it's something that they really, really need. I mean,
well, yeah, but
we're talking to hear ourselves talk right now. I mean, everybody has different circumstances, but
absolutely. But still, I mean, think about when you're in your shop or you're in your mobile unit or you're a house call groomer and you go there and it's a client, whether you have serviced this client a million times or it's the first time you're servicing them, and they give you Christmas cookies, a little plate with goodies, they give you a small ornament, they do something like that. It's not anything that's, going to blow you out of the water that, oh my gosh, they just gave me a, flat screen TV. Right. No, it's something small like that, but how much meaning does that have to you? So those are the things that mean the most, because you feel like, hey, they took the time to think of me and to even consider giving me something. So those things mean a lot. I used to do, which I still do and I will do this year as well. I purchase Christmas cards and I give a Christmas card to every one of my clients that I write a little note about how their pet has blessed and they have blessed my life this year. And to thank them for that. Some of my clients have become my friends for over the years. That means more to them. They actually have some clients that are like, I can't wait till I get my card to see what you say this year. Yeah. And because sometimes I'm a writer, so and I journal, so I will remember, like I've written things down about specific dogs or whatever, funny little.
Because that's how you feel about them.
Exactly. And then I write that in the card, like this really blessed my life when this happened or that happened. And so, I mean, to me, it means like I'm giving you part of me, a memory that I have that really made my life feel so much better.
Right.
And I'm not spending a fortune on that. And I'm not giving them a free groom or taking money off because they've been a good client to me. Mm-hmm. I'm literally telling them, I really appreciate your diligence and your, remaining with me as a customer.
And your commitment to your pet.
Exactly.
You know what makes me feel good? Seeing a person who loves their pet and takes care of them and makes sure that they're healthy and clean. That gives me good vibes. That's a gift to me to see that, to see them interact with each other.
Oh, yeah.
Pets that are really, really loved and cared for, the ones, you have those. And then you have the ones that they do love their pet, but it's a dog. You know what I mean? But there's that handful of clients that they really grok with their dog.
Oh, yeah.
The relationship with their dog is so deep, part of the family. And I just love seeing that. That boosts me.
And that boosts them as well when you acknowledge that.
Mm-hmm.
And you acknowledge that animal. So, I mean, we're in a unique perspective as a pet service person, that we offer a pet service and that we get to, not many people actually get to share in that, that bond with that animal. So, so for us, we're almost like there's almost like a surrogacy, especially if you've been grooming that animal for a really long time.
Mm-hmm. They're a part of your life.
Yeah. And I mean, I teach the transitional energy class and the groomers that have taken that class always say the same thing to me, that when those animals pass, that's like their own, like it affects them so deeply. It's like one of their own because we build that bond with them.
Yeah.
Or if you lose the client themselves, your elderly customers. I mean, that has also been such a big emotional thing for us. So it's important that you take that time and that you actually let them know how fond of them you are and how much you appreciate them, because everybody has choices.
Right.
We always know those customers that will just bounce from groomer to groomer to groomer, whoever's running a special or, whatever. And they don't see the need to form that kind of a bond. Mm-hmm. And then we have other people that are like, oh no, I want one groomer. This is a groomer that is going to take care of my dog for the life of my dog. And then as they get other dogs, I've done generational dogs.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You literally become a part of their life. Mm-hmm. So those people need to be recognized because that really isn't the norm.
Mm-hmm. And even though I don't celebrate the holidays, I do have one particular client that I literally have gotten them an ornament that has to do with their dog, who's a fox terrier, a wire fox terrier. And they have had an ornament for me every year that I've done him. And he's getting up in age now. So that's probably the only thing I go out of my way to get for a client. They really appreciate it. They love that dog. And the dog actually was their father's dog. And they lost their father. And then they're taking care of the dog. But they've always had these types of dogs when they were growing up. So it's a kind of special relationship. But yeah, he's gotten an ornament from me, and and this is kind of reminding me, I got to go out and get his ornament for this year. But that's about the only thing I do. I think next time we'll talk about, do you decorate and what do you like to decorate with? And are you a lights person? Since we're rounding up on our hour, I think we're going to round it up here. And I think we're going to talk about decorations next time.
Decorations are good.
That seems to be something that everybody loves. And what do you do in your salon for your clients? How about that?
Yeah, and that's the thing is that are you decorating for yourself or are you decorating for your clients? Because that's always, I don't know. I always thought it brings me joy. So
Melissa,
the more glitter,
decorate
the better.
A pencil. She doesn't care.
I decorate myself. Why would I not decorate everything else?
It's true. I love it.
So I think that that is the perfect ending for this show today, don't you? Just think of me like one big giant present.
You are one big giant present to me. I adore you. You bring me joy.
Yes.
You complete me.
I've been waiting forever to hear that.
We all love you again. We love you so much. Thank you for joining us. If you're seeing us on our recording, or if you're hearing us on our podcast, just the audio version, we love you. And like I said before, if you have any ideas that you would like us to discuss, any topics that you know we could probably tackle, we would love to hear from you. So send us a message.
Don't forget, you are the gift that cannot be bought. So
you are the gift.
You are the gift. So now you can cue the Who's singing.
All right. So, in the spirit of this holiday, may your next sip be just as delicious as your last.
Bye.